Hey guys, what I want to come to talk to you today is a bookkeeping business plan example. So we're just going to make it extremely simple how to make your business plan. Now, I know a lot of people when they're first getting started, like they're trying to make like just performers, they're trying to make these just giant spreadsheets, and they're just really trying to take their time and make sure they don't make any mistakes. Now, from someone who's actually been in the game for 7 years of running my own accounting and bookkeeping business, I can tell you that for the most part, your projections and your business plan are going to be wrong, right? Especially like people talk about like a business model canvas, and it's kind of cool to have, but it's actually more effective if you can make a business plan once you've already been in business. um and we'll talk about the reason why later. Just know that like most of the time what happens is when you're first planning, when you're first like thinking about getting into business, you don't really have any reference experience of what the market is actually like. Right. So you're gonna say, I want to get like the other day I was speaking to these women on the phone on these consultation call where we are just going over like, what their plans were for their business. And like, we're gonna be at 10K per month in 1 month. And I'm like, okay, cool. And they like spent like 6 months making their business plans and making their projections and just making all this stuff, right? And I asked them this very, very simple question. Okay, cool. So in order for you guys to go and make $100,000, or their goal is like 10K per month, right? In 3 months. Okay, so how many clients is that? And they were like, it's X amount of clients, which I'm like, okay, cool. So in order to get one client, how many people did you go speak to? And then what? And they've been spending 6 months thinking about like business and like growing in how many clients and all this stuff. And I'm like, just the next question deeper was, well, how many people do you have to speak to? Like, how many consultation calls do you need to do in order to get one client? Do you need to do like 2 consultation calls equals one client? Is it 4 consultation calls equals one client? And a consultation call is just when you are sitting in front of the business owner, sometimes in person, sometimes on Zoom, maybe even over the phone, where you are looking at their situation and then just telling them the price and what it's going to actually be like to work with you, right? So how many of those do you need to do in order to get one client? And then even taking that a step further, how many of those consultate, or how many people do you need to do in order to get one consultation, right? And unless you know those numbers, your business plan is just going to be inaccurate. It won't really help you. It's cool. It's cool to have and it's cool to plan, but it's going to be inaccurate because you don't have enough reference experience. So generally, if you're in like year number 2 or year number 3, then it makes sense to have a business plan, because now you can say, okay, well, I know that it does this much, and I know it does this much, and I know it does this much. So if I want to go and hit, X amount, if I want to go hit $300,000 a year, I know that I have to go and add, extra 2,000 people to my LinkedIn profiles over the course of the year in order to go and get this extra, revenue goal. Right. I know I have to go and do this many consultations. I know I have to do this. I do this. I have to do this. I have to do this. And now you're really rocking and rolling. So if we're actually going to make this simplified, you can just do this on a very, very simple spreadsheet. And before we go any further, if you want to avoid a lot of mistakes that most people make when running and growing their business, if you want to go and really reach your goal and the most time effective way possible, go ahead and click on the link inside the description below to book a call with me. On the call, we're going to say, hey, like, where are you right now? Where do you want to go? What does this process look like for you to be able to grow your business? And if it makes sense, we can work long-term together inside of the Six-Figure Firms mentorship program, where I help people go from about 0 to about 6 figures in the shortest time period possible. If that's you, I'll see you on the call. But going back to what we're saying, so if you are going to be writing a very simple business plan, number one, I would make a spreadsheet. So on the spreadsheet, you need to go and say, like, how many contacts do you have? Is number one. Okay. Next is, what's your client goal? So do you have like 10 clients? Do you want to do 20 clients? Do you want to do 30 clients? And then you're going to have to do a count of like, how much do you want to make per year? Is that 100,000 per year? Is that 200,000 per year? Is that 50,000 per year? Is that 500,000? Like, you need to know this. And then what you need to do is you need to go and see, what do you need to make per hour in order to go and reach that yearly goal. Okay, so what you're going to do is, whatever your goal is, you're going to divide it by 2080, because that's assuming that you're going to be working 40 hours per week. If you want to do a little bit less, then you just divide it by less, right? Or if you want to work more hours, you can just add more hours to the 2080, right? So you take about 100,000, you divide it by like 2080. That's going to come out to about $48. I always like to round it up to about 50, just because it's more of a rounder number, just a little bit easier to kind of think about for the sake of the video, right? So that means that you need to really kind of know how much do you need to make per hour. And then if you have a flat rate, you can factor that into your flat rate to see exactly, what you need to be charging. Now, personally, I recommend inside of your client plan having at least 2 clients for about $1,000 per month. Then you can have the rest of them who are more at the $500 per month. So actually, even taking that back, you want to have at least 2 clients that are paying you $2,000 per month. And then the rest of them on the plan can be like $500 per month. Now, keep in mind, guys, like to get a $2,000 per month client, it does take a little bit of sales skills. So, you might need some help, to be honest. Like some people want to try it on their own, and yeah, you might be able to go and get 1 client for 2,000 a month, but you're probably going to undercharge it, right? So not every $2,000 client is good. For example, sometimes like there's Intuit / QuickBooks Live will offer you guys for like 20 hours a week or even 30, 40 hours a week. They'll give you like 1,000 or 1,200 or even 2,000, right? Okay, cool. But in a lot of cases, that might be undervaluing, and it's actually over 20 hours a week, and they're just overworking you, and it's just not the best. Versus if you know how to charge a flat rate, it doesn't matter how many hours you work, then it can be a little bit of an easier $2,000 per month. And oftentimes, when you're trying to sell a flat rate, right, if you just come out and say, it's $2,000 a month, a lot of business owners can't conceptualize why they would pay someone $2,000 or 500 or 3,000 or $1,000, right? So you have to know how to set up the price inside of your consultation. Like I always give people, I call it the 6-figure sales flow, because it basically is just a set of checkboxes you have to go through in sequential order for them to understand, right? So before you drop your price, you should probably give them some perspective as to, like what is an average bookkeeper charging? Also, you need to be able to put in perspective, like why are we charging a flat rate instead of hourly? Also, you got to be like, hey, like how much does good help actually cost? Also, like why better get good help rather than bad help? Like there's all these like little micro steps that you need to kind of set them up, right? In order for them to be willing to pay you like $2,000 a month. Even more so, like in order for them to be willing to pay you like $500 per month, right? Because I do know the plan is based on $500 a month clients, right? But a lot of people when they're starting out, like they have really false beliefs about how much money people are willing to pay. And then you see like bookkeepers and accountants charging like $100 a month or $200 a month, $300 a month. And it's not necessarily that the clients that you speak to can't afford to pay you more money. It's just if you don't know how to explain the value properly, they don't really see the reason why, and they generally will try and either accept like a very low flat rate, or they'll try and make you go hourly, which in a lot of cases, if you try and sell hourly and you don't know how to actually get a higher hourly price, like above 50, above 60, above 70, above 100, it makes it very hard for you to make any money doing hourly. And that's why most people kind of want to charge a flat rate, because if you can just like charge a huge hourly rate and you package it all together and it's just like a flat monthly price, right? Now, because it's a flat monthly price, yeah, it is easier on the side of you, because you can be more efficient, you can get really good. Both sides know exactly how much money it's going to be, and it makes it really easy for you to predict your revenue. But at the same time, they're not going to understand why they need to be paying that, and they're going to try and default to hourly. So you really have to be good at setting that thing up correctly, so that people know exactly why they need to be paying that much money. And that's really how I'd be going, and how I'd be really thinking about my business plan. Is you got to start thinking about like what does the amount of money you want to make look like? You got to have a goal. Like first, if it's 100,000, okay, cool. So that means that you're going to need what, a $2,000 client. Then you're going to need you're going to need two $2,000 clients. Then you're going to need, what is that, 12 $500 per month clients. Very simple, very easy. Who is this? Do you have any interest in my what? I don't know who you are. Sorry, one of the students in the mentorship program needs some help with their subcontracting. So I'm trying to connect them with 2 other people inside of the program. One thing I like to do inside of the mentorship program is I like to have each person kind of either pass referrals, or if they have too much work, they subcontract it to other people inside the program. So right now, a student just signed up a real estate investor, and he's like, I don't have any more I don't have any more time to kind of service this guy. Who can subcontract it out for me? So I was like, I messaged like 3 people, and then like the first one to respond is going to get the deal. So I'm just kind of like handling that thing right now. But that's been a really, really fun kind of like fringe benefit for the people that are inside the program. And people always ask like, well, how do I know this thing's going to work? I'm like, well, dude, you automatically know it's going to work because you're going to get referrals from people inside of the program, right? So it's just like it's ridiculous how well it works. I'm sorry, but side tangents. Excuse me for getting distracted. Now, that's really what it is for me today, guys. Like you just have to know. And if you're gonna make a business plan, your goal should be like just I'm gonna need this many clients, and then your goal needs to be how can I go and get 2,000 people to know that I exist, 2,000 business owners to know I exist. If you get 2,000 business owners to know you exist and you connect with them on social media, it's going to be very, very, very unlikely that you don't end up reaching your goal. It's just most people stop way before then. Okay. So hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. Hopefully this kind of shed some light into like how to kind of plan for the business, what you need to be expecting, what you need to be thinking about, and just some different things that you haven't really thought about before. Now, if you want some help going and growing your business, maybe you want to go and reach your goal in the shortest time period possible. Maybe you want, just like we talked about today, people who are actively involved in your success, who each want to help each other out inside of a program, and like just a community of people that want to help and who refer clients to each other. If you want to learn more about that and you want to see if this is a good fit for you, go ahead and click on the link inside of the description or the comment section below to book a call with me to see if I can help you. Okay, there's really no point in kind of like waiting. I know a lot of people like waiting, they like thinking about things, but I mean, if you're going to be successful in business, like you got to make good decisions really quickly, and you got to be swift and got to be able to trust yourself. So it's kind of like, the faster you get on the call, the faster you join the program, the easier it is for you to go and make some money, because you're going to expect other people to do the same. So hopefully I'll see you on the call. If not, if you're not quite ready right now, that's a-okay. Keep watching more videos, keep learning more stuff. And then maybe in the future, I'll see you on a call. And if not, I'll talk to you soon, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great one.